My name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel, and today we're planting brassicas, mostly the summer flowering brassicas, which are kind of my favourite, and we've put a dedicated bed in for those this year rather than sort of mixing them in with the winter brassicas, so hopefully that will make it easier to manage them. So I'll show you what I'm up to. So I'm taking the field beans out now on what will be the summer brassica bed. It's a gorgeous morning, I've got to say. Really great. Well, they got really cold last night, about not 2 degrees Celsius. So pretty chilly. Anyway, chopping these out, leaving the roots in. So I accidentally pulled this root out. And that's what we're looking for. All these little nodules on it, full of nitrogen. So I want to leave the field bean roots in, but I want to take the weed roots out. So I've left most of the weeds in. Not too bad really to say it's not been weeded for, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. Anyway, let's get on with that. So I put a good couple of inches of water on here. And this is what I like to see now, is about 2 inches. So this was full when I planted it last time with mushroom compost, and it's dropped 2 inches. So some of that's blown away obviously, but most of that is down in the soil. So I'm going to get that replenished, but you do need a couple of inches. It's so dry. If you stand any chance of getting the moisture down to the sort of 6 to 8 inches point, which is what you really need at least, then a couple of inches is what you need. But of course you can just test that by drilling a core, which I'm going to do now. So I've drilled a core and it's kind of worse than I thought. This is still really quite dry. So it needs more water, and yeah, it's extremely dry. That's only 3 inches down. So now we need the mushroom compost. I think about 1.5 inches, £6 worth. So before I did all that watering, I put down a mix of 6x compost and seaweed meal, 1 handful per square metre, which is roughly 3 handfuls per half bed, 6 handfuls in total. And now I'm going to lock in all that moisture and all those amendments with this mushroom compost. So it's another day, and I've cored the holes with my trusty corer, and they're nice and deep. One of the things I like about this corer, despite, in addition to it being really easy, is that it cuts a really clean hole, and then when you water into the hole it doesn't all collapse, which is really great. And so I filled the holes twice with water, and the water has got that nematode in it, fruit and veg protection against cutworm and cabbage root fly. So the first 6 plants to go in are Sante purple sprouting broccoli, and I'm going to put some Romanesco cauliflowers in. So those 3 are Romanescos, and then I'm going to alternate down the centre Romanesco and Atlantis. Atlantis is a green sprouting broccoli. So that's the onion net on the brassica bed. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. And I've also just put the spare plants that I've got, which are all Calabrese of one description or another, into this bed. This is kind of my spare bed. It's my least favourite bed on the plot, just because things don't grow very well in it. So I'm not quite sure what was there before my time, but whatever it was, seem to have damaged the ground for all time, but sometimes get something out of it, so I'll just pop some stuff in. I've also just popped these radishes in. There's 2 successions of radishes here. Should last us a few weeks, and they're kind of interplanted with little clumps of New Zealand spinach, and I actually just moved these were self-seeded in another bed which is full of New Zealand spinach, so I just dug the little clumps up and replanted them here. I only need 1 plant, but when you're transplanting like that, you know, really expect everything to live, and of course everything then lives. So this is the first succession of the New Zealand spinach. It's coming on pretty well, and these are all the self-seeded clumps that I've been digging up. We're giving lots of them away as well, because New Zealand spinach seeds are actually quite expensive. You don't get that many of them either, so self-seeded plants are definitely the way to go. So this is the next bed to recondition. This is the overwintered beetroot that went to seed. So that was an experiment that definitely went wrong. We have got little beetroots here, but I suspect they're going to be really woody and horrible. So in this bed we're going to have some kales, and there's other plants. We're just hardening lots of stuff off at the moment. So these are the sweet corn. This is the batch that we're planting out this week. That's the one next week. And we've got some celeriac there, and a perennial kale cutting. And there's my winter squash hardening off as well. So, hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.